Hey, everybody. Welcome to my home. This is Maxine Taylor, and tonight we are going to talk about Venus, the planet of love. It is called the lesser benefic, which is kind of an oxymoron. Less good. I think it's because the greater benefic is Jupiter. I call them the two good guys of the zodiac. Venus, of course, when we think of Venus, we think of love, we think of beauty, music, art, all kinds of beautiful things. And wherever it is in your birth chart, that is what you love. That's what you think is beautiful. So if you have your birth chart, keep it in front of you. If you don't have a copy of your birth chart, there are many companies out there. If you just Google free birth chart, they will send you instantly a copy of your birth chart. If you'd like more than that, go to my website and order one of my Blue Star reports. These are computer reports generated by and written by Michael Erlewine, a wonderful astrologer. You'll get a lovely description of your birth chart as well as a copy of the chart itself. Okay, so let me give you a couple more definitions of Venus. I talked about love and beauty, clothing, your appearance, music, art, dancing, the color pink. I wanted to wear pink because, well, that's self-explanatory. It rules sugar. It rules courtesy. It rules money, flowers, pleasure and gratification. It rules grace and marriage, because Venus rules not only Taurus, but Libra, and Libra rules partnership and balance. Taurus rules money and the things that you can hold in your hand, your assets. It rules smiles. It rules your skin. It rules the sense of touch. I've noticed that people with a lot of Taurus in their chart will love the texture of various fabrics, various foods. People with Taurus in their chart, or Venus very prominent, will shop with their hands. If they like the feel of the fabric, they'll try it on. Really quite beautiful. What I'm going to do now is talk about our dear friend Venus going through each of the houses. And this is where I want you to look at your own birth chart so that you see where it is. Okay, I'm going to start with the first house. Now, any planet in the first house has a very strong Aries feel to it, because Aries rules the first house in the natural zodiac. If it's in the second house, it has a very strong Taurus feel, because Taurus rules the second house in the natural zodiac. Okay? It makes you a disguised sign wherever it is. And wherever it is, that's what you love. That's what you feel is beautiful. It's what the area of life in which you express love. If it's in your 10th house, you could do that in your career. If it's in your 6th house, you could do that at work. 4th house, family. You get the picture. But I'm going to get a little more detailed now because the world needs love. And love is the universal antidote to so many things. So let's start with the first house. Okay. Venus is what you love. In the first house, you love you. And you might say, well, what's wrong with that? Oh, absolutely nothing. In fact, on the contrary, if you love you, you're able to love everybody. And I have seen the people who love themselves are loved by others. Isn't that awesome? Um, with Venus in the first house, there is always a sweetness about you. Um, there just is. Um, and with Venus in the first house, you express your love no matter what sign Venus is in, kind of sort of like an Aries. You want it now. First house planets make you a disguised Aries. And so your love nature is ardent, it's fiery, even if it's in an earth sign, because of the first house placement. Always go back to the natural zodiac. So no matter what the sign, you are able to love you. I feel that that's a gift. And if Venus is close to the ascendant, you are probably very, if you're a woman, very pretty. If you're a man, very handsome. There is a sweetness, a beauty to the face, because the first house rules the head, face. To anybody with Venus in the first house, go run, look in the mirror. If you've got Venus in the first, look in the mirror. Now, there may be things in the chart that from your programming, and you know how I feel about the power of programming, that tell you that you're not pretty. In fact, you ain't even cute. With Venus in the first house, oh, yes, you are. Quit listening to those people. And because Venus is triggered by the transiting planets all the time, as they circle the zodiac and circle your chart, your Venus is activated, particularly by the moon. The moon goes through every single house, sometimes more than every single house. If it's a fast moon, it will move through more houses, but it definitely moves through all 12 every single month. And so that beautiful Venus is triggered. Venus in the second house. Now, this is very powerful because it is in its own house. Notice I didn't say its own sign. Venus rules Taurus. And if you have Venus in your second house, you are disguised Taurus. Just like if you have it in the first house, you're disguised Aries. And so you have the ability to be a money magnet. Now, there are many things the second house rules. It's our possessions. It's the things we can hold in our hands. It is absolutely talking about tangible assets. And with Venus in the second house, you love money. And whatever you love, you attract. And the second house of money is where you show your love. Maybe you buy your loved ones gifts of all types. This is because you love gifts, you love things. I think it's terrific. Now, remember, with each house, Venus manifests differently. And remember that Venus is love, it's money, it's beauty, it's art. It is all things lovely. It's grace. It's how you love, who you love, and the way you love. In the houses, it shows you the areas of life the area of life that you love, and how you can create love and money and beauty, etc. Okay, Venus in the third house. Well, that makes you a disguised Gemini, doesn't it? And wherever Venus is what you love. You love to talk. And you talk beautifully. I don't care what the sign is, because you are a disguised Gemini. Your thoughts are beautiful. In fact, you can create money with your thoughts. Okay. Are you writing a book, a podcast? Um, what are you doing to express the love that you see as you look through your eyes at the world? The third house also deals with siblings. And so there can be one sibling that you really love, probably the first sibling. By the way, if you're dealing with siblings, you are not your own sibling. So if there are 3 children in the family and you are one of them, you have 2 siblings. So in the third house, there is one sibling that you really love in particular, and that would be the first sibling. Doesn't mean you don't love the second one, but with Venus in that house, the first one is ahead, if you get my drift. Your thoughts, your ideas, the way you communicate is loving, it's happy, it's optimistic. Remember, Venus is the good guy. Venus in the 4th house, you love your home and family. And whoever that 4th house parent happens to be, because the 4th house is either mommy or daddy. The 10th house is either mommy or daddy, and we won't know who is whom or which is which until we actually get into the reading. So with Venus in the 4th house, you love your family and you love the nurturing parent. You love being at home. You might be a terrific designer, decorator, real estate agent, because again, Venus is money and you can create money through home, family, real estate, and anything that provides you with emotional security. Venus in the 4th makes you a disguised Cancerian. And so there is a deep love for your family that other people may not know about, but you do. And you love being home. If you are not married with children, you love being at home. See what I'm saying? And your family loves you because you love them. Beautiful. Venus in the 5th house now. Come on, guys. Leo rules the natural 5th house. This is the house of fun and games. I have yet to meet a person with a sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo that didn't love games, whether card games, sports, computer games, it doesn't matter. They love having fun. And so you love having fun. You may be an artist, a musician, because Venus rules art and music. And the 5th house is creativity. You do love your children. And the 5th house is the first child. And so your first child loves him or herself. Well, when I talked about Venus in the 1st house, I said, if you love you, everybody loves you. Everybody loves your first kid. You included, because this is a loving child. And you probably would make a lovely camp counselor, because what do you do at camp? You have fun, you play. And 5th house people know how to play. You're a disguised Leo, of course. So there's that beautiful Venus in the 5th house. Venus in the 6th makes you a disguised Virgo. Interesting, don't you think? 6th house is work, health, and service. So with Venus in the 6th house, you love your job. And if by any chance you are working at a job that you're no longer enjoying, time to hit the road, Jack. Time to find something that you love. And you want to feel loved on the job. Um, the sixth house deals with service. You want to serve, and you want not just to serve, but to be appreciated for the service that you do. So you love being busy, you love being needed, um, and you can work in the beauty industry, whether it's makeup or hair or clothing. Um, there is a love of service. There is a love of job. And because of the law of attraction, if you love your employees or co-workers, they will, of course, love you in return. Venus. Venus in the seventh house, really strong there because Venus rules the seventh house. Now, some of you who are new to astrology might be saying, wait a minute, didn't you just say that Venus ruled Taurus? Yeah, Venus rules both of them. It manifests differently in the different signs. With Venus in the seventh house, you're a disguised Libran. And that means that there is a love of the one-on-one relationship. You have to have a best friend, a best buddy. You love partnership, so you might love being married. I know a lot of Librans who have been married more than once. And many people have been married more than once because we're living longer and we're living better. But, or should I say, and Libra has to have a partner, a best friend, a spouse, a one-on-one relationship. They love that. It fulfills them. And Venus in the seventh means that you will attract people who love themselves, which is great because you love them. You both love the same person, them. I hope this is making sense because it is so thrilling to see astrology in action. Also, you love balance and harmony. You do not want to fight. Libra wants balance in all things. And I heard an expression years ago that said Libra loves balance and harmony, even if they have to get it through war. And I thought, well, Mars is their opposite sign, so that's one way of possibly getting it. But Venus, disguised as Libra, because it's in the seventh house, likes to make balance. It's not always trusting of an already established relationship. Once it makes balance, it can maintain it. So there is certainly nothing wrong at all with preferring to go places with a friend or a partner rather than yourself. Venus in the first says, I'll meet you there. Venus in the seventh says, I'll come pick you up and we'll go together. See the difference? Okay. Venus in the eighth. It makes you a divinely disguised Scorpio. Scorpio, as many of you know who have watched my videos, in my opinion, is the most powerful sign in the entire zodiac because it deals with resurrection, transformation, transmutation, magic, and above all, secrets. The psychic ability of people with eighth house planets is very strong. Now you say, well, Venus is in that eighth house. You love secrets because you love to get to the bottom of them. You love secrets about love. And your love nature will undergo a transformation in this incarnation, because the eighth house is transformation. So any planet that is in your eighth house is going to be transformed in this lifetime, which means you will be like the phoenix, rising on its own ashes and starting all over again. Venus in the eighth likes to help other people create money. It likes to help other people get clear on their own values. And their love nature is very, very deep. And because the eighth house is secrets, we're not going to pry, because anybody with eighth house planets really doesn't want prying eyes, because they have a family secret or a personal secret that they are guarding and keeping very, very close. Right, all you eighth house people? Venus in the ninth. Wow. Ninth house, ruled by Sagittarius. Sagittarius is hail fellow, well met in its purest sense. Sagittarius loves people from all over the world. The ninth house, which is ruled by Sagittarius, deals with truth and principles. Now, the third house, ruled by Gemini, is ideas. The ninth house, principles. And the greatest principle of all with a ninth house Venus is love. You believe in love. Love is a principle that you live by. And once again, because you're a disguised Sagittarius, you have to have your freedom. You have to be able to spread your wings and soar. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Higher education. You're an eternal student. And I think this is why, or one of the reasons why, people with a strong ninth house are natural students of human nature. You have a natural understanding of people. You had it when you were a teeny little kid. You can't see my hand, but it's way down there. You were born with it. And you were born loving people. You've got to be on the move. I was just picturing a friend of mine who is a pilot, and he has Venus in the ninth. He loves to fly everywhere. And since the ninth house is long distance travel, I think it's appropriate that we have now put people in space, not just at the space station, but in rockets that go up and out to space and return in just a few minutes. We're coming into an age where the ninth house really does deal with long distance travel. It excites me just to think about it. Okay, Venus in the 10th. You love your career. You love the limelight. Isn't that terrific? And you are seen as a loving leader. You're a disguised Capricorn, okay? And so you work slowly but surely till you get to the top. And I always like to say with Capricorn, when you're at the top of the mountain, think of a mountain goat with all four hooves balanced on the tippy top of a mountain. And people will say to you, isn't it lonesome up there? There's only room for one. And you, with your 10th house, disguised Capricorn, say, yes, but the view is magnificent for those of us with the eyes to appreciate it. I just love that. You love being a leader. And because of that, you are a natural leader. Have you learned that sometimes people are jealous of you? That's because you're a natural leader. Keep on keeping on. So now the 10th house is career. It's not a job, it's the career. So you want to deal with some facet of Venus in your career. Once again, music, art, beauty. Let me look over this list. Aesthetics, dancing, money, creating money. You'll always look wealthy with Venus in the 10th house. You may not have a dime to your name, but you will definitely appear to have money. I don't understand why. It's just Venus shining her loving light on your career and your public image. So there is a form of protection with Venus in the public eye. Venus in the 11th house. Oh, you're a disguised Aquarian, aren't you? And Aquarius is very different. No two Aquarians are alike. They broke the mold with Aquarians. 11th house people ask themselves, am I crazy or is the world crazy? Just look around. It is not you. Venus in the 11th loves humanity, loves the group, and knows that what is best for the group is best for the individual within the group. There is an identification with humanity that most people do not have. And this is why you will feel different. Please love that difference. I mean, you came here to teach us about love, didn't you? And you might say, yeah, but I'm different. I love impersonally. Yeah, you love the whole, everybody. You are a friend to all. This is the beauty of Venus in the 11th. And last but not least, Venus in the 12th. You're a disguised Pisces. Pisces has one foot on the earth plane and the other on the spirit plane. Pisces hears a different melody. Venus in the 12th house cannot even begin to express the type of love it wants. The type of love that you with Venus in the 12th have is indescribable by earthly standards. It is perhaps like a fantasy to most people. Things like the Cinderella story. You love the happy ending to a love song. And you hear music playing. I hope you're a musician, an artist. You love your solitude. And this can make you a bit of a hermit, right? So be it. Because you have a need, we all have a need to recharge our batteries, and you do it alone. Sleep, for example. You may need more sleep than the average person. Maybe because you get up at dark 100 and look at the stars and look at the moon. And you're thinking, oh, it's so beautiful. I want to be there. Love the way you feel it, the way you want it, is very hard to deliver here on the earth plane because it is larger than life. It is true beauty. And so this is what I got to say about Venus running through the houses. Remember that Venus is triggered by the transiting moon. Those of you who study astrology know the moon circles the chart every single month. It is conjunct, sextile, trine, square, sextile again, trine again and sextile again, and in opposition to Venus all during the month. Now, I want to mention something to you. Once a year, we all have a Venus return. And this is when Venus returns to its birthplace in your chart. In other words, if you have Venus in 5 degrees of Leo, once a year, Venus returns to 5 degrees of Leo. It amplifies Venus. It brings it to life. Now, in that Venus return chart, you want to see how Venus is aspected by the other planets. Do they play well together? Once again, there are companies which will give you, free of charge, your Venus return chart. You might want to get a copy of that because you want to take advantage of that Venus return. You want to be with loved ones. If Venus is in your second house, money can be involved. In the 7th, relationships. In the 4th, family. So you want to know when that is so you can take advantage of it. I could go on, but I think you get the idea. Venus is love and beauty. And through my studies, what I have found that is what we are. Love, beauty, truth, health, everything wonderful. Because that's what spirit is. And that's who we are. So, till we meet again, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.